FlossTube friends, I'm Catherine, Needleberry Stitcher. Today's Sunday, April 26th, 2026, and I'm here with another update. It's been 2 weeks since I was here, and we have lots to do today. I have a little bit of stitching, not the most productive couple of weeks of stitching, but I still have a little bit to show. And then the votes are in on which of my 2 projects that you guys voted on from the last video would be the one that I would pull and keep as a finished piece or a work on piece, and then one of them I'm gonna flow. It's gonna go with the flow. And so that the results are in on that. We'll talk about that. And then I reached 5,000 subscribers. It's amazing, and thank you to all of you, because it's because of you that I actually reached 5,000. And I never thought that was really, it was never really a goal, but at the same time I was like, you know, I'm getting really close. That would be really fun if I could get to 5,000 and then do a giveaway. So I do have some giveaways toward the end of the video if you want to stay and check those out. So first, let's start with the stitching. Like I said, not a lot of stitching the last 2 weeks, and part of that was because of work. I work full-time, so however, good news is that my department hired another person who is coming in to work alongside me in the same job role, so I won't be the only technical person in my department doing the coding and the work, the software development work that I do. So some of you who know me very well know that every time I take a day off, or I take a week off, or I take a few days off or go to a retreat, I end up going back to the hotel room and working. Or if it's a day that I'm just planning to stay at home, my phone will ring at 3:30 in the morning saying, hey, we need your help, the system's down. So it's those kinds of things that it would be really nice if I had another coworker who will ramp up and be able to do the same thing as me. And I know him. I've worked with him at 2 other jobs, and I referred him for this job because he's perfect for it. So it won't be long till he's up to speed, and then I'll get to have some more stitching time when I take PTO. So, all right. The one project that I focused on the most in the last 2 weeks was, it's the, you know which one, the sisters. This is off to a bad start already. I can't even remember the name of my pattern. Little Women. Okay, putting a picture on the screen of Little Women. It's a pattern that I got off of Etsy. The designer, or the person who you can buy it from on Etsy, is called Vale Gugia, and I don't know if I'm saying that right. But I'll put that on the screen here, and I'll show you a picture of where it was the last time I showed it, which was my very beginning start. And then I have a few threads hanging on this, but I'll show you where it's at now. So I have quite a bit done, actually. I was able to finish this girl here and her dress. Now there's no back stitching done yet. This is all stitching only. I'm going to do the back stitching at the end, which I don't usually do, but in this one specifically, these little flower and vine things are very, very tedious. And I thought, you know what? I'd rather do backstitch than do these, so I'm gonna do these first, because that way, it's kind of like Stitch and Mommy says, you know, you gotta eat your vegetables first and then get to the good stuff. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm gonna finish all of the border all the way around, because it's I don't think it's exactly mirrored, but it's the same thing. It goes all the way around. So this half of the pattern is done, and now I've been able to work. The next time I pick it up, I'm gonna work over here. I started just a little bit in here. And just a little up here. So next time I pull it out, I'll be able to hopefully make a good, some good progress on it. I don't know if I'm going to work on it this week or not. I'm thinking maybe, yeah, I'm thinking I probably will. At least a little bit. I'd love to get just this corner done, and then maybe in early May finish this, and then do the back stitching. So maybe have a target of finishing it by the end of May. But as you know, I don't do well with goals. I'm trying to get a good lighting. I don't do well with goals. As soon as I say I'm going to do something, then that's the last thing I'm going to do. So I'm trying not to be too committal, and we'll just see how it goes. So maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll have a little bit more progress. All right, so that is my Little Women piece. And this is being done on, I kept the tag on this time because I can never remember, 32 count Spellbound Soft. 32 count from Color and Cotton. And it's just the most beautiful mauvey gray And to me, it looks very antique-y, and it looks very classic. And I wanted it to be soft. I thought gray would be nice, but the fact that it has just that nice pinkish hue to it, love it, love it, love it, love it. What do you think? I think it's perfect. And Spellbound, to me, sounds like it's probably meant to be like more for like Halloween or fall, but I thought it was perfect for this piece. That's the first project that I worked on. And then the only other project that I've worked on, I know, it sounds bad, but like I said, I had a whole week where I didn't stitch at all. So this is only about a week's worth of stitching that I've gotten in. But my Heaven and Earth design, it's the 2026 stitch along that I signed up for. And I know a lot of people are either doing it and some are almost done, which is crazy to me because it's almost 90,000 stitches on each of these designs that you could choose. This one is called Wise and Brave, and it has 88,800 stitches is where it's at. So the last time I showed it to you, I'll put a picture in here. It was I thought it was right at 25%, but the last time it was actually 24.98%. So I kind of lied last time, but not really. It was just, I just wasn't 100% accurate. And so this time I've gotten over the 25%, but it's only 25.54%. So I only really got about 400 or 500 stitches in. But what I was able to do is come across the rest of this row. I just had a little bit in here left to do. And I love the feathers. Aren't they just, oh, I love that. I love the effect for the owl. So getting this row finished, and then I came back over here, and I had already started working down here before. If you saw my last video, you knew that I started out trying to do page finishes, and then I ended up doing the Stitch-A-Mommy typewriter method. It's the same thing that Max Color Stitcher does, where she just takes a 10x10 block and works top to bottom, left to right, all the way across the 10x10 block all the way. So that's what I've been doing. And so some of this was already done because of the page, when I was working on page finishes, but now just right in there. So I think, and you'll see I also started parking again because I'm going through a parking phase. And probably within a month, when I work on this again, the hanging threads are going to drive me nuts. So I'll probably just stitch everything in because that's what I always end up doing. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But I like having it on this bigger Q-snap. I had it on a smaller one and I kept having to move it all the time. And so this one ended up being just the perfect width for it. So I don't have to keep moving it. So I like that. And that is pretty much all the stitching that I've gotten done, which is not a lot. 400 or 500 stitches on this project. And then, you know, maybe 1,000 stitches on Little Women. That's not a lot. Not for me. I usually like to get at least, I'd love to get 3,000 stitches a week. That's my goal. But I mean, again, I don't set goals because I don't reach goals. And if I set a goal, I won't reach a goal. So don't set goals. So then yesterday, I happened to be out running errands, and wouldn't you know it, I had to drive by Color and Cotton. Oh, darn. I had to stop in there. So, you know, I'm joking. I actually didn't have to drive by Color and Cotton. It just happened to be one of the ways that I could get home from where I was at. And so I conveniently drove that way so that I could stop in. It's only 10 minutes from my house, so it's not like it was really out of the way. Like 10 minutes to Color and Cotton is really dangerous. But while I was there, I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I was just wanting to look around because you know how that is. We get inspired. But once I got in the store, I kind of was inspired a little bit. I was watching Mrs. Smith Stitches the other day, and she is working on a Brenda Gervais pattern called At Home, which a lot of you probably are familiar with. Let me pull it out. And this is what it looks like. It's called At Home. And since I was in the store, and since I kind of wanted to see if maybe I might start this one, maybe, if it was in the store, which it was, which I knew because I saw it there last time I was there. Anyway, the fact that I knew it was there, and the fact that Mrs. Smith inspired me on her last video to think about it constantly. I decided that I would go ahead and get it. So I did. I got the pattern. And I also, I'm not going to show it this time, but I'll show it once I start it. I had the lovely ladies at Color and Cotton helped me do a conversion. So Angela and Tina helped me do a conversion to Color and Cotton threads. Not for all the threads, but for a good portion of them. And so I have the conversion. And so once I start it, I'll show you what the thread conversions are. And they said it was totally fine if I share it with you, if it's something that you're interested in. So not a problem. And you know, you can call Color and Cotton anytime. And if you have a certain pattern that they have already converted before, they keep it on file. So if there's one that you have in mind and you're like, oh, I would like to maybe do that with Color and Cotton threads, call the store and they can look it up. And if they already have a conversion for it, they'll share it with you. And if they don't have a conversion for it, they'll help you make a conversion for it to Color and Cotton threads, especially if you already have a good collection of Color and Cotton. If they're the ones that, like, sometimes the special edition ones are a little more difficult because they don't, I mean, there's no guarantee that they're going to have those ongoing. But if you have a collection of Color and Cotton threads and you're wanting to find projects to use them on, then, I mean, call the store anytime. They'll help you. They'll help you figure out, like, hey, I have this color of Color and Cotton thread. What would be a good match for weeks dye works? Like, so if you have a pattern that calls for weeks dye works, or the other way around, if you say, hey, I've got this weeks dye works color, or what's the other one? Classic Colorworks, or would, so they'll help you find colors in Color and Cotton threads that are kind of correlate. So, and the other thing that they'll do is they'll help you keep it up to date. So if you have an older chart, so this one, for example, at home, it's been out since 2022, but there's a couple of colors in here. They had converted this 2 years ago, and there's a couple of colors in here that were the weeks dye works that when they pulled them out, they knew already at the store. They're like, ooh, this has changed. The dye lot has changed a little bit. So it's not like, there was one color in particular, they said, this is not as blue anymore as it used to be. It's a lot more green toned now than it used to be, but we can tell looking in the cover chart here that it's actually more, it's more blue than the weeks dye lot now. So they took the original conversion they did a couple of years ago, but they helped me update it with colors that were a little bit more consistent with, even with the Color and Cotton threads that have changed over time. So anyway, that's a long story to tell you that I have a new project that I want to start. So that was why I was talking about it, was because I think I do want to start this one. Now, I bought, it calls for Vintage Country Mocha, 36 count. Tina at Color and Cotton didn't have to talk me into, but did. I said that awkwardly. What I meant to say was, it didn't take much to twist my arm to get me to change my mind from 36 count to 25 count. So I have decided to do this 1/1 on 25 count on Vintage Country Mocha. So it's going to be teeny, but the only thing that is going to be a challenge is this section right here is just the words and that outline. I don't know if you can tell. Let me take it out of the package again. Why did I put it back in the package? I'm still talking about it. Why did I do that? All right, so here, see the words, but there's also those, I don't know if you're gonna be able to focus on it. There's like little triangles. Maybe that's a little better. There's triangles that you kind of do in satin stitch to make the box around the words. And all of that is 1/1. However, if I'm taking this from 1/2 to 1/1 already, what am I supposed to do with the words that are 1/1? So let me see if I can get that. It's not going to focus, is it? Anyway, you get my idea. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do about the satin stitch for the box as well as the words, because the words are a full stitch over one. I think I'll have to convert that and maybe do some backstitch letters. So at first I didn't realize it was 1/1, so I bought the 25 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I got home and I opened the pattern and looked at it further, and on the instructions, once you open the pattern and look inside, it says, oh, in this area is stitched 1/1. I'm like, oh no, I'm already converting it to 1/1. What will I do? But I think there's ways around it. I think I'm just gonna find a font of some kind, like a backstitch font. I'm just gonna stitch it just in backstitch. I think it'll be fine. I mean, I really like the font that's in here, but that's not the whole piece. That's not the whole purpose of the piece. So follow me for that if you are interested in seeing what I do. And if you ever decide you want to do it 25 count over 1 or 20 count over 1, then you'll be able to see. I'll put whatever I come up with for charting for letters, I'll make sure that that's available. Let's see. Purchases other than the pattern and the fabric and some threads. I may have fallen victim to some enabling. You know who you are. It's always the same people enabling me to buy things. So I came across from this person who forwarded me a beautiful image of a kit that I don't know about and didn't have. And it's from RTO, and it's called Fairy Tale Girl and Fawn. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, nope, I don't need it. I already have enough kits and I don't need another kit. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then I opened up and saw this picture again from the forwarded text. And I thought, I have to have that. Look at that. Look at that. It's just so pretty. So another kit for my collection. Yep, I don't have plans to start it right away, but it's DMC thread. You know, this is my first RTO kit. I don't have any other RTO kits, but it says there's a QR code to get a digital chart for Saga, and I've never used Saga before either. So there might be a couple of firsts. First time doing this kit and first time maybe trying Saga, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. It comes with, it's not only digital. I know some of the kit producers, manufacturers are doing digital patterns only on some of their stuff. And so you don't even get the paper chart. You just get a QR code and you have to download it. But this one actually does come with the chart too. So there's that. I think that's all I have to update in terms of stitching and acquisitions. And now I can tell you about the 2 projects that were competing. In my last video, I had put it out there that I spun my wheel. I put all of my inventory of works in progress, my whips, on a wheel. I have 112, soon to be 113. And I put them all on the wheel. I spun the wheel twice. And there were 2 projects that came up on the wheel. The first one is a buttons and beads kit from Mill Hill, and I did not have a very big start on this one. I'll show you how much I had done on it. Very little. Only just the border. I started that a few years ago. So this was the first option that was up for voting. And the second option that was up for voting is a dimensions kit called the Finery of Nature. I'll have to put a picture of it in because I have lost my cover photo, or maybe I never had one, I don't know. But this is where Finery of Nature is at. So both of these are projects that I have not worked on in a very long time. So in my last video, I said, I would love if you guys could help me vote for one of these 2 that you think that I should work on and either get significant progress done on it or get a finish on it. And in exchange for your kind votes and your participation, I was offering to do a random drawing for a 123 $10 stitch card, 123 stitch $10 gift card. So the votes are in, and I'm gonna grab my phone. It was very close, and it was so fun watching you guys. When you leave a comment, I'd get it right away and I'd look at it and we're like, oh, there's a vote for Mill Hill, and then I'd say, oh, another vote for Mill Hill, another vote for Mill Hill, and then all of a sudden we'd be like, oh, Dimensions, Finery of Nature, Finery of Nature, Finery of Nature. It was like, it was constantly going up, like back and forth, like even up until this last couple of days, like it was that close. So I have to pull up my, okay. The votes are in, it was close. Both of them had more than 60 votes and both of them had less than 70 votes. So it was really close. It was within 6 votes. One of them had 62 votes. One of them had 68 votes. So which one do you think? Can you guess which one? Take a guess. Just think about which one it was. Mill Hill Camping or the Dimensions Finery of Nature. And the one with the most votes, 68 votes, was... Let me find it. I'll keep you in suspense. I know it's not really that suspenseful. It's just a thing. It's like, I'm in suspense. I'm the one who's all excited about this, not you. So the winner was Finery of Nature. So this is the one that I'm gonna do some stitching on. I don't know if I can get, well, I should just, oh, I was just about to set a goal. And as soon as I set a goal, I'm not gonna do it. So we'll see how it goes. If I get it done this year, that would be amazing. One less whip, but this was the one. So thank you all for participating. And instead of giving away a 1, 2, 3 stitch $10 gift card, I'm going to do 2. So there are going to be 2 winners. So 2 of you will get a 1, 2, 3 stitch $10 US gift card. And I already spun, I'm having a hard time finding a tool now that will do random comment pickers, because it used to be, there was one site I always used for random comment picker and it was free, and now they're trying to charge if you go over a certain number of comments or something. So anyway, it took me a while to find one, so that's why I'm not doing it on camera, because it took me a while just to be able to do it. However, I took screenshots of the winners. So these 2 people will be getting a $10 1, 2, 3 stitch gift card. And thank you all. I just want to say thank you all first for being interactive and just like, it was so fun. I can't even tell you how fun it was to read the comments when they were coming in. And some of your reasons for, I know I'm leaving you in suspense with the winners, I know. But some of the reasons why you gave for one over another were really interesting. Like the camping one, the Mill Hill, a lot of you were like, oh, it was a gift. You should stitch that one because it was a gift. Love that. Some of you were like, oh, you should stitch Finery of Nature because that's the one that has the most progress on it already. Some people voted for the Mill Hill because Finery of Nature is done on black Ada. No, it was the other way around. They were saying do Finery of Nature because it's on black Ada and do it while your eyesight can still handle it, that is so true. The older I'm getting, the harder it is to work on darker fabrics and darker colors. And then other people, so there were just so many different reasons for pick this one over that one. And I absolutely loved reading through those comments. So I just want to thank all of you for participating and for giving me your thoughts. And yeah, I just had fun with that. I think I'm going to have to do that again. I definitely am going to do that again and spin my wheel. I don't know how often I'll do it, like maybe once a month or once every other month, but it'll just like pick out some of my older whips that I'm not getting any progress on and put them in the forefront so that I actually get some work done on them. The winners are Gina Ballard, at Gina Ballard, GinaBallard, and she voted for Finery of Nature. And the second winner is NJ Heise, NJ Heise. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. And the vote was Stitch Mill Hill. So nice. There was someone who voted for each of them ended up winning, so that's neat. So if both of you could send me an email, needleberries@gmail.com. I'll put the email address here on the screen. Send me an email so that I have your email, and then once I have your email address, I can put that in at 123stitch.com and have a $10 gift card sent your way. So thank you all again, and thank you all for helping me to get over the 5,000 subscriber mark. It's just, that's you guys. That's all of you supporting me, and I appreciate it so much. Just having a community where we interact, and those, I don't know, there's something about posting a video and then knowing like the next 2-3 days when people watch, I'm gonna get tons and tons of comments like where people are just like, even if it's just to be like, hey, I watched your video, just saying hi, like just that interaction is really fun. It means so much to me. So thank you for just being a part of my stitching world and a part of my being my stitching community. When I had my months away from filming, I really felt the loss of my passion for and just sharing that passion and having a group of people who understand it and who feel the same way about it. Because when I have people in my real world that I can share stitching with, but there's just something about I don't know, there's just something different about having a community of people that I know you're watching and I know that we're interacting, even though it's just comments. Like, it's just means a lot to me. So I just want to say thank you. And as a way of saying thank you, I'm going to do some raffles. I'm going to do some prizes, some giveaways. And so I have a few things that I would like to, for two reasons. One is the $5,000. Don't you wish it was a $5,000 giveaway? I wish, if it was a $5,000 giveaway, I don't think I'd be doing YouTube anymore. I'd be on vacation somewhere. Anyway, reaching 5,000 subs. Oh, that reminds me. I was watching, what was it? Pride and Prejudice, the 1995 version with Colin Firth and Jennifer Eel. My favorite. That's like one of my top 5 movies of all times. If you've never seen it, you have to see it. It's long. It's a mini series, but it's so good. And they were so accurate in how they filmed. Like, I watched a documentary on the filming of it and how they were just tried to be so authentic with the time period. Like, even one of the women who was interviewed, one of the actresses that was doing one of the lead roles, and she was just like, we weren't even wearing makeup. Like, we had to be so true to the time period we couldn't wear makeup. And she's like, that was very exposing. It was very vulnerable. But I mean, they all looked amazing. And they wear like foundation, whatever, but they, like, no eyeliner, no eyeshadow, no mascara. Like, she said it was quite an interesting role to play. So anyway, that's one of my favorite movies. However, when I was watching it last weekend, and there's this point where it's like the mother of Elizabeth Bennet, Mrs. Bennet, and she's introducing like how she has this amazing news. There's a new gentleman who's moving into town, and his name is Mr. Bingley, and he's worth $5,000 a year. And I was just thinking, like, I'm like reaching Bingley status with my YouTube subscriber count. It's like 5,000. So anyway, I thought that was funny. I don't know if y'all find that funny, but all right. First thing I'm gonna put up for raffle, random drawing. Now remember, this is gonna be done the usual way. We're gonna pick a word. You'll leave the word in a comment, and make sure you're over 18, because if you win, I'll have to ask for your name and address, and you have to be over 18 for that. Please don't use any words in the comments like giveaway or drawing or prize or anything like that, because I'll have to delete it, because that draws in people who are not cross-stitchers. They're just looking for free stuff to be able to just go and auction off on eBay and make money. And I want this stuff to go, I want these prizes to go to people who actually will appreciate it. Other cross-stitchers in the community, people who, you know, have the same appreciation for things. So those things still apply. And I don't have any code words yet, so we'll come up with them as we go. So bear with me. But first one is, oh, and please be a subscriber. That's the other thing. Again, this is all about you guys who have subscribed. I just want these prizes to go to people who actually are part of this, my community, my stitching community, and supporting my channel. So I would appreciate that. All right, first is Queen of Freedom. This is the re-release that came out in December of 2025. And it also has the bead pack to go with it. So it has the charm that comes with it. It's sealed. It still has the sticker. I mean, this is, I was lucky to get a copy of this, both the bead pack and the chart. So the keyword for this one, because it's called Queen of Freedom, we're going to say the keyword is queen. Queen, queen. So if you would like, and you can put in for one of these, all of these, whatever, as long as you use the word for whichever ones you want, that's totally fine. So the keyword for this one, leave the word queen in your comment. Okay, that's the first one. All right. The next one that I'm going to do as a giveaway, and I know some you guys are already prepared for this because I previewed some of these in a previous video. This one is called Hoppy Easter. It's from Annie Beez Folk Art, and I showed this. I had finished both of these last month, so I would like to give this away. And it also comes with fabric, and it's enough fabric to do both of the designs on the front, both the rabbit and the Hoppy Easter. It's the same amount of fabric that I used to do them. So and I leave a pretty liberal amount, so it should be enough for you to do both, with lots of finishing on the side. So, and the fabric that is coming with it is a color and cotton, and it's called Dutch Blue Soft, and it's a 36 count, which is what's called for in the chart. So this one, let's do, how about Easter? I know we're after Easter, but I'm sure you can leave the word Easter in a comment somewhere. Okay, that's the second one, Easter. E-A-S-T-E-R. The third one is also from Annie Beez Folk Art, and also another one that I finished in March, and it's called Hello Spring. So for this one, we'll use the word spring. S-P-R-I-G, spring. And this one also comes with the Dutch Blue 36 count color and cotton fabric, Dutch Blue Soft. And it is enough, it's a large enough piece to do this. It's the same size as what I did it on, so I know it's the right amount. It should be plenty for finishing it too. All right, so that one is spring. And then I have a couple of more. This is one, it's called Stitch an Inch Fall from By the Bay Needle Art. This is a pattern that I have stitched before and finished it. So if it's on my Instagram. I'm not sure I've showed it here on the channel before. If I did, it was a long time ago. But I realized I had it sitting in my stash, and I was like, you know, I've already stitched it. I'm not going to stitch it again. So hopefully you guys don't mind I'm passing the stash on this one. Stitch an Inch Fall. Let's call this one Fall. We're into a seasonal thing here. We'll do fall. I know a lot of parts of the world you call it autumn, and it's autumn here too, but people call it fall. So I never understood that. Why it's fall and not, why didn't everybody call it autumn? Or why didn't everybody call it fall? And why fall? Are we falling? Anyway, this pattern is by Donna Bayless, and it is really, really cute. You can either do each individual inch, like these are 1 inch blocks. You can do them individually. They're little tiny little 1 inch vignettes. Or what I did was in the design it tells you how you can stitch them all across and make a scene all the way across. And this was really fun. I did it on 25 count 1/1. I think 25 count. No, it was 28 count. It calls for 28 count. And I remember doing it on 28 count because I wanted it to be 1 inch. And I remember thinking like, ooh, 28 count is a little tight. And my sweet spot is 25 count when I'm doing over 1 stitching. So 28 it was okay. I got it done. I somehow got it done. So this will be fall is the key word for this one. And then the last one is a Jeanette Douglas design called Chubby Fox. Another one that I've stitched before. It's a really quick stitch. It's really, really cute. And I am so happy with this one. I love, love, love Chubby Fox. He's so cute. So this one, the keyword will be fox. All right. So the next time I come back, you have until then. I'm thinking it'll be 2 weeks. Seems to be a 2 week. 2 weeks is enough for me to have a little stitching to show, but not so long that I forget what I worked on, which is important if you're trying to keep track of what you're working on and showing people. So I'm thinking it'll probably be 2 weeks that I'll come back and do a video. So between now and when I do my next video, if you want to participate in the random giveaway, it'll be just random comment picker from putting in the keywords, and one winner, obviously, of each prize. And I think that's it. This is a little shorter video today, but I wanted to get the results in. I'm really, really excited to pull this out again and get some progress on it. So this will be something I work on throughout the year. Again, I don't want to set goals, but it's just so pretty. It's just really pretty. And I kind of had, at first, when all the comments were coming in, it was like, it was swaying toward the Mill Hill kit, the camping out one. And so I was getting psyched up. I'm like, oh, I love the Mill Hill one. I'm going to do the Mill Hill, and I'm going to restart it and do it on navy fabric instead of on the perforated paper. I'm not a big fan of perforated paper. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. So I didn't have very much done. So I thought, okay, I was ramping myself up. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to work on the Mill Hill and I'm going to do it on fabric. And I was already like, I found a piece of fabric and I was going to put it in the, and get that ready. And then all of a sudden it swayed the other way and it was the Dimensions kit. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to rethink all this. This is okay. So I started putting the Mill Hill. I started like, okay, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to focus on that. Now I have to kind of gear myself up for Finery of Nature. I'm like, oh, it's on black fabric. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I can do that. It's okay. And then all of a sudden it swayed the other way. It kept going back and forth. So anyway, I was not sure how it was going to end up. I thought it was either going to go like, there was going to be a larger difference gap between the votes. Like I thought, okay, one's going to get like 70 votes and one's going to get 20. I didn't even think about like, well, what if it's that close that it keeps, anyway. I'm just rambling now. My husband took me out for a late brunch after church, and so I had lots and lots of coffee. We went to one of my favorite places. It's a breakfast place. It's called Original Pancake House, which is a chain here in the United States, but there's a location not too far from us, and they have such good pancakes and such good omelets, oven-baked omelets. They're fluffy and so good. But then I end up drinking a lot of coffee, and it was already almost 12 o'clock, and I had a lot of coffee. So you can tell that I've had a lot of coffee right now. All right, I have to show this one more time. Look at the colors on the black. They're striking. And there's gold filament that is all in here, couched. And the gold isn't even in here yet. It's going to be even more striking than that. So, I'm excited about that. So thank you all again for the voting and for having fun with me. My wheel is going to stay. I'm taking those two off the wheel. I'm going to put them instead. I'm going to just put them in another list of flows. We're going to go with the flow. I don't know why I find that funny. I just think it's funny. So FLO, I was saying finish later object instead of a UFO that you plan to never finish it. Well, I don't want to take anything fully off my wheel where I never finish. I plan to finish everything in my lifetime, and I'm going to live to be 1,000. So there's no problem there. So, so I'm just going to take those two off. And if I do this again in the future, I'm just going to, whatever's remaining on the wheel, I'll just spin it again and take two more. And I had fun. I hope you guys had fun with it too. Just, I don't know. And if there's a prize on the line too, like a $10 gift card, like it's kind of fun too for you. So that like I get to have something random that's a surprise, and I get all the comments, but then there's something on the, a thank you for you too for participating, because, it's your time too. So anyway, rambling aside, it's time to go and maybe get a little bit of stitching done this afternoon or evening. And I will talk to you all later, and thanks again for everything. You guys are the best. I'll talk to you next time.